Welcome to Sacred Spaces Advanced School of Ancestral Communication. I am Queen Carlenia and I am the founder of Project Home. And at Project Home, we're doing three things. We are reconnecting our family, our Afro-Rakanu and Afro-Right-Kaitnut African Black family with our ancestral heritage. We are restoring our divine connection and organically reclaiming our birthright. We are the mothers and fathers of humanity, and humanity has been brought to her knees. And so we are coming as guardians, emerging as there is a changing of the guard. And so, those of you with an ear to hear and an eye to see, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. We have come to restore divine order to planet Earth. We have come to restore divine order. And in the tradition of my elder ancestors and ancestresses who on their tombs left the words written. It said, I have come to speak the truth and to set the scales of justice in their proper place among those who have no voice. Our voices are being raised now. And I'm so happy to be able to see it. I'm so happy to be able to see us begin to reconnect and to connect the dots about who we are. They thought that they could erase us. They thought they could erase us, and that was a lie. They could never erase us. We are part of the very fabric of creation. Our names, Afu Rakanu and Afu Kaitnut, are over 40,000 years old, written in stone. They couldn't erase it. Written in stone, and they mean offspring, male and female offspring of the creator and the creatress, descendant through the divine land at the beginning of creation. That is who we are. Our names, our nature is encoded within our names, and that's why our naming ceremonies are so important, because those names that we have been given and that we were given, they serve to realign our spirit with our soul, with our divine consciousness, which is a small portion of the divine consciousness of Mother and Father God. This is where we find our balance. This is where we find our unity. This is where we unify at our roots. I am the author of Soul Marked for Life, Nana Adjoa's daughter, and Soul Mark for Life is telling our story. It's telling my story, but it's telling a larger story of our journey back home. Literally, our journey back home. That word, that title, Soul Marked for Life, means something very, very specific. Because in our creation story, which is the oldest on planet Earth, because we are the first and only created human beings on this planet, our our divine consciousness, this is our creation story, is a part of the divine consciousness of Mother and Father God. And they assigned a spirit force in creation who is an extension of themselves and only operate in alignment with Mother and Father God. And they carry certain characteristics. So before we enter into this realm, Mother and Father God are assigned to us an Abosom, an Orisha, a Bodun. We have different names for them in our cultures. And depending on who they assign to govern our head, to govern our soul, to govern our divine consciousness, it is those characteristics that we bring into the community. It is those characteristics that we bring into the world. And that's why our culture is a protection, because when we operate within our culture, each of us knows what our position is. We know what our divine assignment is. We know why we are here. We're not here trying to guess and figure out what are we doing here. Other people aren't naming us. Those names of the Abosom, of the Orisha, of the Vodun are that are assigned to us are the names that we carry and the nature that we carry into this world. And so, as we reconstitute ourselves, as we reconstitute our culture, we organically reclaim our birthright. when we turn all of that attention that we pay to our open enemy, when we turn within and we begin to receive instructions and we begin to connect the dots and remember who we are and how we are to operate in real time, they will come running. They will come running, say, here, here, please take this. Because the hell that they will experience by trying to keep stolen things that are not theirs, they will be literally trying to get rid of that so they could have some measure of peace. And they don't have peace. They appear to have peace. What they have is money, but they don't have peace. If they had peace, they wouldn't have to work 24/7 to subdue anybody. But everywhere they go, they kill, they steal, and they destroy. They kill, they steal, and they destroy everywhere they go. And so it is up to us to research, to find out who we are, and not just find out intellectually. I always say we have to go to the altar because that's where our thinking is altered. That's where our actions are altered. I am the thinker. I think the thought. I create the thing. So if you check your thinking and your circumstances, you will be able to see for yourself how your thinking has created the circumstances that you're currently in. And sometimes it's not very obvious to us. It's not always obvious to us. And I'm not talking about things beyond our control. I'm talking about your day-to-day life, your day-to-day thinking, your day-to-day mood. How are you looking how are you looking at society? How are you looking at your life? Are you hopeful? Are you optimistic? Are you pessimistic? How are you feeling? Because your feeling literally sends out a vibration that finds a resonance somewhere and it comes back. Just like the waves go out and they come in. Just like we breathe in and we breathe out. We can't hold it. We hold it, we die. We release it and we don't take anything else in, we die. So there's always a movement. How is your movement? What is your movement? And if you're seeing progress, that's wonderful. But if you feel like you're stuck and you keep circling around the same issues over and over again, you're saying one thing, but you're feeling something else and you're experiencing something else. There's a disconnect somewhere. This is Sacred Spaces Advanced School of Ancestral Communication. But all of our cells are communicating. When we have disease, that's dis-ease. That means there's a breakdown in the communication among the cells within our body. And we actually have the capacity to bring those cells back into communication because we govern our body. We govern our thinking, we govern what we ingest, whether it's our thinking, our feelings, or actual food. We govern that. And because we govern that, we have a choice. My father would always tell me the most powerful gift God gave you is the power of choice. So if you don't like what you've chosen, choose again and choose wisely. When we go to the altar, we receive instructions. When we go to the altar, we are clearing debris at levels that we oftentimes don't even recognize. When we go to the altar and we begin to pay attention to our lives, we begin to see that people respond to us differently. Circumstances even respond to us differently. Things that were closed doors that were closed begin to open in the most unexpected ways. And so when we go to the altar, whether you create an altar in your home or you use nature as an altar, you are altering your life and you're able to better hear what your assignment, what your function, we say purpose, but it's really a function. Just like every organ in our body has a function. We are organs, we are cells within the divine body of Mother and Father God, and the divine organs within the body that regulate order within the body. or the Orisha, the Vodun, the Abosom. So you will hear me talk about them continuously because it was knowledge of them that they took away from us, wanted to make us believe that they were evil, that our roots were evil, but our roots end in Mother and Father God. So, what is evil about that? It's sacred. Who we are is sacred. Our bodies are sacred. Our spirits are sacred. And when we begin to see ourselves in that light, things begin to change. Ashe.